So for the past 11 months, I've been diligently tracking my dividends and posting it as shorts on YouTube as well as TikTok. So this seems like something that many of you guys are interested in because some of you are asking, what are some dividend stocks that I'm holding? So part of me is kind of apprehensive of sharing this because of the fact that many of you might just copy what I do, but in reality, we are all different and there are reasons why I'm buying what I bought. But I thought about it, so why not let me share it with you guys on what I'm holding and maybe a short reason of why I'm holding those. But before we jump into the different stocks and the different ETFs that I'm holding, let me explain why I'm running a dividend portfolio. So passive income is one of the holy grails that everybody wants because it's the you don't have to work to earn money kind of thing. And as easy as it seems, it's also something that people that have really great expectations for, coupled with how we want instant gratification. So for example, like ordering a McDonald's meal and hoping it to get delivered within the next 15 minutes, or ordering something from Amazon and expecting it to deliver within the next 2 days. So if you're that sort of person looking for instant gratification, then dividends might not be for you. But if you're okay with grinding and playing the long game and leaving money to work for you, then dividends could be something that you might want to think about. So my dividend portfolio isn't huge, and based on my tracking, I'll be getting close to $600 for this year, which is roughly about $50 a month. So this isn't a huge sum of money, but it's still money that I'm getting without putting in any effort other than tracking them on a month-to-month basis. And my ultimate goal is to reach a sum of money of a couple of $1,000s of dividends, and this will enable me to side hustle less, giving me more time to do things that I enjoy. So I've got two different portfolios here. One of them is the US market and the other one is the Singapore market. So in the US market, I got 7 different stocks or ETF that pays out a dividend on a regular basis. So the dividends from each stocks varies and the payout periods are different as well. And that is why when you look at my monthly tracker, you will see that there are certain months I get more and certain months I get less. So for the 7 stocks that I have and ETFs are SPHD, VOO, Apple, Beef, Disney, J&J, and Coca-Cola. So VOO and SPHD are ETF that tracks an index or fund in the US market. So VOO tracks the S&P 500 and pays about 1.49% or $6 per share per year. And on top of dividends, VOO is also pretty stable and it gives a capital appreciation, which could probably be a double win for me. So SPHD is Invesco High Dividend Low Volatility ETF. They track the top 50 of the top 75 dividend paying stocks. And my favorite feature here is that it's a monthly dividend payout, and that provides some cash flow for me to consistently be buying back into the market. And then we got Apple, which the company requires no introduction. So Apple gives a dividend of 0.5%, which is almost nothing. But what it lacks in dividend is it provides in capital appreciation. Then we got a Beef or ABBV, which is a pharma company that pays a 4% dividend. So Beef is made famous for the drug Hurima, which is used to treat autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, plaque psoriasis, and ulcerative colitis. Then we got Disney or DIS, which is famous for Mickey Mouse. So they are famous for all the Disney movies, the Pixar Studios, and even Marvel. So Disney was paying out a dividend for the longest time, but they have stopped paying dividend during COVID. But hopefully when things become a little bit better in the market, we can see some dividends coming back in. Then we got J&J or Johnson & Johnson. So Johnson & Johnson pays a dividend of 3.12%, and J&J is also another pharma company that many people will be familiar with because of the baby wash, the baby oil, contact lenses, and much more. Lastly, we got KO or Coca-Cola. So if you have no idea what Coca-Cola is, chances are the drinks that you enjoy on a daily basis is probably one of their products. So other than the red and white canned drink that we all know is laced with Coke back in the days, Coca-Cola also owns brands like Ayataka, Costco Coffee, Dasani, Fanta, Schweppes, Vitamin Water, Sprite, and many other brands that I have never heard of in Singapore. And one of the largest shareholders of Coca-Cola right now is Berkshire Hathaway, whose CEO is none other than Warren Buffett. And right now, Coca-Cola pays a dividend of 3.14%, which is pretty okay. So in the US market, there are many other dividend stocks, but these are some of the stocks that I'm holding. And if you're looking to purchase these stocks, something to keep in mind is the withholding taxes that comes with these dividend stocks. So the US government charges 30% withholding taxes on your dividend gains. So this sounds like a lot, but if you're just starting out, I think the difference wouldn't be too much. It will probably be a few cents to maybe a couple of dollars. But for me, I do accept the taxes because I believe in these companies and they do bring good value to me, not only in dividends, but also in capital appreciation. But if you don't want taxes, then we'll shift the market to Singapore. So in Singapore, we do not have a capital gain tax system, nor do we have dividend taxes as well, which is pretty awesome if you don't want to pay taxes. But what the Singapore market lacks is really good companies that can pay dividends over a long period of time and the rigidity of purchasing a minimum of 1 mini lot or 100 shares. So unlike the US market where you can purchase just one share, Singapore is a little bit different. So in my Singapore portfolio, I only hold 4 stocks and ETFs. So they are STI ETF, ST Engineering, Keppel DC REIT, and Dairy Farm Group. So STI ETF, also known as a seriously terrible index, tracks the STI or the Straits Times Index. So they hold the top 30 most performing company in Singapore, and essentially by just purchasing STI ETF, you are purchasing the whole Singapore market. So the top 10 holdings of STI ETFs includes DBS, OCBC, UOB, Singtel, Jorden, CapitaLand Ascendas, CapitaLand Integrated Commercial Trust, Keppel Corp, SIA, CapitaLand Investments Limited. So STI ETF pays a dividend of 3.5 to 4% on a biannual basis. So you can look to receive some dividends in February and August of every single year. So one of the big things I like about ST Engineering is that they are the building infrastructure for the whole of Singapore. Essentially, they got aerospace, which does plane servicing. They have ST Marine, which upgrades and builds ships for Singapore Navy. They have a smart city vertical that addresses the connectivity, the road mobility, security infrastructure, and environmental needs for cities. We've got the defense vertical that services our armed forces assets, and now they're expanding into digital tech building like AI, cloud, and cybersecurity. So in short, ST Engineering does almost everything for Singapore, so I'm pretty bullish on that. Next up, we got Keppel DC REITs. So this stock haven't been performing the best and is one of the biggest losers in my portfolio right now. So in Q3 of 2023, the stock plunged 14%, which is something you don't see often in the Singapore market, accounting how stable the market is. And one of the reasons for the tumble and fall is because of the tenant Neo Telemedia, which reported a loss in the first half of 2023. So they got $842 million in loans and only $14 million in cash for repayment, which can be a very good reason why investors are losing confidence in Keppel DC REITs. And on top of that, financial costs, which is like debt, the interest on debts that they have, has been increasing as well. So it climbed 54% year on year to $43.9 million, leading to a distribution per unit or DPU of 2 cents, which is down 3% compared year on year. Although Keppel DC REITs might sound a little bit bearish right now, but what I did was to double down because I understand that data centers will become more and more valuable because we are much more connected now, and with more internet users making transactions online, I feel that Keppel DC REITs will do fine in the longer term. So Keppel DC REITs currently pay a dividend of 4.32%, which is pretty decent to me, but I do hope that my doubling down at these low prices will hopefully turn the tables for me. So lastly, we got Dairy Farm Group. So Dairy Farm Group operates convenience stores all over Singapore and around the region as well. So if you have shop at Guardian, Giant, 7-Eleven, these are some of the brands that are under the Dairy Farm Group. So Dairy Farm Group's dividends are on the lower side at 2%, but I'm not too worried because the business that they operate, people will definitely use them. So these are the dividend stocks and ETFs that I'm holding right now, which is giving me roughly $600 a year in dividends. And one of the goals that I have for next year is to reach $1,000 a year, and I can scale a lot faster from there. So if you do want to see how this portfolio is going, do follow the short series. I'll leave a link in the description down below, and you have to subscribe and turn off notifications so that when the update comes in, you guys stay notified. So that's all for today. It's going to be a pretty short video, I guess. But as always, stay safe, invest safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.